Our next guest is coming off one of the most spectacular head kick knockouts in UFC history. That's right, when she beat Jessica Eye this past weekend at UFC 238. Not only that, but she thanked the crowd in three different languages. The UFC flyweight champion, Valentina Shevchenko. Welcome back to Submission Radio. It's great to have you here today.
Thank you. It's my pleasure every time. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Valentina. I assure you the pleasure is all ours. So let's get this straight. First of all, congratulations. But is it true? Did the president of Kyrgyzstan, and I believe his name is Zhinbekov Sudanbai Sharapovich, call you personally after this win this past weekend?
It's totally true. He called me right after the fight, same as he did when I first won my title, UFC title. He called me as well, so he personally called me and congratulated with this victory.
Wow. What did he say? I mean, he was congratulating you, but did he say anything particular to you?
Yes, he said that all government, all like president office,
Wow.
they was looking for the fight. They was looking fight and was like looking it live, and whole country is very happy. And it's like it was a big news like all around. And even he said like someone in the office they was crying, so he
Wow.
was very happy.
Wow, you're bringing people to tears on the other side of the world. That's amazing. Well, I mean, what does that mean to you when you get a call from the president, himself, to know that obviously he's watching it? Let's say we paid for the pay-per-view and he's not streaming it, but also someone's been brought to tears. What does that mean to you?
It's mean a huge honor for me first, and from the second it's like huge motivation to continue everything that I'm doing with the same dedication as I do right now. And of course it's like when you are working hard on something, on your passion, on your way, and you sacrifice everything for it, and you are recognized by the highest level of your country, it's a huge honor.
Mm-hmm. I guess you're a big star everywhere. Obviously, everybody loves you here in Australia, New Zealand, America. But what do you have people that you used to go to school with? Old friends. I imagine you probably get a lot of people trying to contact you and tell you how proud of you they are. That must be a pretty crazy experience, sort of having all those people from your life watching your fights and being so proud of you.
Yes, of course, after the fight, every time everyone is congratulating me. Like, it's not only about my home country, Kyrgyzstan, but all around the world, because we was living for a lot of years, like in different places. We've been living in Russia, in Thailand, 8 years in Peru. So everywhere they're like, I received message from everyone, and it's a very good time, and even more the best time after the victory.
Absolutely. Just quickly, where are you joining us now? We know you're in your car, but which country are you in right now?
US Las Vegas. It's for last 4 years. It's our base where we are like training, living, doing everything. So for 2.5 years we was living in Houston, Texas, and in last year and a half we are living here in Las Vegas.
A lot of good gun shooting ranges in Las Vegas, so it makes a lot of sense to be there. Let me ask you about the fight. Have you had a chance to watch the fight back yet? I mean, it was relatively short, but have you had a chance to sit down and watch it?
I did watch the fight, and yes, I did it.
What did you think of it? What was your impressions of your own performance?
It was everything that I was expecting from the fight. Of course, I was expecting from Jessica, like attempting everything that she was like promising to do. And the most important when I was going into the fight, and I was feeling her energy, and it was like really like very secure person, and she was very secure in everything that she will do, like great fight, and she did everything that she could do. But in my side, like I have a lot of much more experience, and I just saw this hole and I started to work on it. When I first like saw her stance, I knew that the spot in her body is opened, and I started to work on this spot, work hard with hard kicks. And this is what made you think that I will go like there forever, because it was hard and I could feel it. And that's why I just like changed direction of my kick in the last moment, and it went to the head.
So you did you sort of get a feeling from the early goings that that's how the fight was going to end? When you started targeting the body, you would have known that, all right, at some point I'm going to throw the head kick. Did you? And obviously a lot of people felt that you were going to beat Jessica Eye very convincingly. Did you expect it to be this quick and somewhat, I guess, easy?
You know, every time I train hard to get my to have my fight easy. This is a secret. You train hard and you get your fight like not the same way as on the training. Sometimes it's easier, sometimes it's also like hard, but this is the secret, to train every time hard. But you know, from the first kick that I made to her body, I knew that this is the point, this is the what I want to do. But at the same time, I knew it's not gonna last all 5 rounds. It's from the very first kick. I knew that I will finish the fight sooner.
You've had a lot of fights in both Muay Thai and MMA. Would you say this is the most devastating knockout of your career?
I would say I had few similar like knockouts. And everyone was different. One was spinning kick, another one was spinning back fist, another one was like different. Every time it's different. But of course, like when you're fighting in high league and everything is bigger.
Let me ask you this, Valentina. Dennis and I, we're not exactly fighters, and I imagine a lot of people listening are not fighters either. So when you connect with a kick like that, you know, to someone's head, what is, I guess, going through your mind, and what does that moment feel like for you when you know that, you know, they're essentially knocked out?
It's the moment when I hit it, when my leg like reach the target, the head, and that moment, like your body is still reacting. I still went. I still like didn't know if is it like 100 finish of the fight, or will she be able to continue the fight. But in the halfway, when I go into her direction, I saw that this is it, and she will not stand up again. And that's why I even didn't try to continue my attack on the ground and continue like doing some hits onto her. But when it's reach, like the kick, when it reach the target, so you just feel that it went as you planned, because sometimes it's hit not clear, sometimes it's more clear, but it's like you want to make a precision hit and you did it. So in that point, you are not thinking, you are not analyzing, because you are too much in it. You are too much in the motion. You don't actually, you don't have a time to think about nothing. Your body is just reacting. And this is how what we are every time training to make our body decide what to do. Because if you are starting to think too much during the fight, you just can just lose your opportunity. You just cannot see the opportunity because you are thinking too much. That's why I'm trying to make my body work and react like very good, because I train my body for this.
Yeah, automatic, absolutely. Now that kick kind of reminds me in Casper of the kick that Holm knocked Ronda Rousey out with over here in Melbourne back in the day. Which knockout do you think was better? A lot of people are comparing your knockout over Jessica Eye to Holm's knockout of Ronda Rousey. In a lot of ways, your knockout was in a way even a lot more brutal. But how do you feel sort of people comparing both and trying to figure out which one was more brutal?
I don't know. I just make it for people to decide. I don't want to think about it. I just want to enjoy my free days before I started before I come back to the trainings. And I just don't want to think this like small things, because it doesn't matter actually who did it better, because every fight, every person is different. She did her knockout, I did mine, and this is it, and there is no like competition in it. No, I don't want to be part of it.
Sure. Well, I think the good thing is that, you know, your knockout is definitely one for the highlight reels. It's something that people will never forget. Do you think this win sort of changes people's perception of you, Valentina? You know, it was a scary knockout, and it almost feels like, you know, this is a turning point when people, they don't just necessarily see you as a dominant champion. People sort of see you as a scary champion, you know, a destroyer. Does it kind of feel like that to you?
You know, I every time saying I'm truly martial artist. I can do everything. If you can see my fights in UFC, you can see that every my fight is different, and I just can do a lot of things. It doesn't matter that I'm only one side fighter, just dominant fighter, or going for submission, or doing like crazy stuff. No, I can do everything. If it's necessary, go and be aggressive, I can do it. If I have to be a little bit more careful and see the exact moment to hit, I will do it. So everything for me, it's just to be able to apply all my arts, what I have, martial arts, into live fight.
Obviously, the 125-pound division, you're the champion of it. But there aren't too many contenders just yet because the division is still pretty new. But is there anyone out there that kind of makes sense for you? Is there anyone out there that you see that you'd be happy to sort of defend your title against in the future?
With one who will be number one ranked in the my weight class, I will be gladly to fight her. But I can say that all number 10 contenders are very strong. All girls, maybe they don't have yet like names as for example, bantamweight or strawweight already has names, because they already fought for a few years in UFC and everybody knows their names. But in flyweight, if, for example, there is no big names yet because it was not too much action in flyweight, it doesn't matter that there is no like very strong and dangerous fighters, because all number 10 contenders were very serious, and there is like some kinds of dangerous sides that has each one.
I was going to say, Caitlin Chikagian, she got a big win at UFC 238 earlier on in the card. So would you be happy to face her next if she is potentially your next challenge? Because as it stands, she's the number one. I think she will be the number one contender when the rankings change.
I say every time, I'm ready to fight. Doesn't matter who, doesn't matter where, doesn't matter when. I'm ready to fight everyone.
You know, it's interesting. Obviously, there's a lot of new divisions in the UFC, and we've seen it happen with Chris Cyborg, or even a guy like Demetrius Johnson, where a division is sort of built around them. How does it feel to, in a lot of ways, the division is around because you're such a great fighter and so many people want to watch you fight. Is there any extra pressure that comes with sort of being the reason why the division is around and sort of being the face and the draw of the division, or do you sort of enjoy that aspect?
You know, to be the champion, it's every time extra pressure, because everyone looks up to you, and everyone's like measuring what you're saying. You just cannot say like any kind of silly stuff because you are the face. You are the face. You are the champion, and it's good. It's good. It's because everyone wants to be champion for make people listen to this person, and it's very good responsibility. Of course, it's double work, it's double pressure for sure, but here we are for this one to be successful in what we are doing. And if we are speaking exactly about me, so this is what I every time was looking for to be the champion. Doesn't matter where I am, what promotion I'm fighting. Every time for me was the goal to go to the fight and be the winner, not just having fun on the fight, because it's not fun when you get kicked like this. It's not fun at all. The
Mm.
fight, I would say, in general, it's not having fun. It's very hard work, but it's payoffs. Everything payoffs, because your dedication, everything that you are spending into martial arts, you get double more. You get much more positive energy, like love over the fans and support. Their support, it's very important. And in my case, I enjoy all my travels, to be able like to meet different people, to know them, and to share my experience with them, their experience with me. So it's coming back, my sacrifice coming back to me in double way.
Well, there you go. That's a. I like that quote. It's very spiritual of you, Valentina. I have to ask you though. At the post-fight presser, Dana White was asked about a trilogy fight between Amanda Nunes and yourself, and he said he'd rather sort of see you defend your belt a few times and Amanda defend her belt and possibly fight Cyborg again, and then maybe the trilogy fight makes sense. Is that fight of interest to you, and could you see it happening again, sort of somewhat in the near future, or are you sort of focused on 125 at the moment?
I every time responded, because I have this similar question like a lot.
Yeah, I can
And
imagine.
every time I responded, we have unfinished business with Amanda. And of course, I see this fight happening in the future. But for now, I'm focused to defend my title in flyweight, because I was waiting this division, and I was fighting every time in UFC with with the girls who bigger, heavier than me, and I have to be like more careful with this kind of girls, because it's a different way to fight. But in flyweight, in 125, I just can be myself and explode me more. My techniques to show and my skills to show, and I just want to fight and defend my title like in this weight class, and just to finally to be in this weight class.
Mm. I was curious because I was watching UFC Embedded and I saw Amanda Nunes was actually, you there during fight week. Did you guys run into each other at all? And if so, did you say anything to each other? Were there any sort of awkward encounters? What's your relationship like with her at the moment?
We didn't have much relationship between us going, so it's
Yeah.
like for example, about this week, we didn't see each other, even if we was like in the same kind of room. We
Mm-hmm.
was in different sides from each other. It's like I don't see any sense, like because we are rivals, and it was
Mm.
from the beginning. I don't know, with some person you just feel that it's your like rival during the fight, during the time in the octagon. But with some people, I don't know, maybe it's her like personality, some kind of because I don't know, we are not friends with her at all.
I guess you guys have had that many stare downs against each other. It's kind of hard to, there be zero tension. But it's interesting. You fought Amanda and Holly. Obviously, you have a win over Holly. If you could weigh in, who do you think wins that fight when they fight at UFC 239, in your opinion?
It's every time difficult to predict who gonna win when two high-level fighters are fighting together, because it's like 50-50. You are thinking that how it was Amanda and Chris. Everybody
Yeah.
was thinking that Chris Cyborg gonna win, but in the same moment when it's like open exchange of hits, it's 50-50. You can hit, you can be successful, or your opponent can hit and she can be successful. That's why it's difficult to predict. But personally, me, I will cheering for Holly Holm, because I like her style. I like her way to see martial arts, and she every time showing her passion for martial arts. And just I like how she's like being the person inside and outside of the octagon. Because that's why I'm cheering for her on this fight.
It would be great to see you guys fight each other again down the future. But let's talk about yourself. You mentioned you're in Las Vegas. It's been a few days since the fight. Tell us, how are you feeling right now, and how soon would you like to fight? How soon until you fight again? Are there any injuries that we may not know about from this past weekend that you want to sort of let heal up before you think about coming back into the cage?
Not much injuries, just like bruises. It doesn't count, and I'm feeling pretty healthy, and I'm ready to get back after small rest because even your body doesn't have any injuries. Still, your mind has to rest because it was huge pressure during all preparation, like first title defense. Of course, it's huge pressure. More fight week when you have to do all media stuff in the same time, training in the same time, do everything that you have to do. So it's huge stress for body and mind, and I have to make up everything and recover all my lost energy, and I will be ready to come back to the gym and continue start maybe my preparation. So actually I'm ready maybe from here 3-4 months, and I want to come back and fight again. Yeah.
Nice. I was going to say, how do you relieve that stress, Valentina? I think I saw you on Instagram, you were shooting guns just the other day. Is that kind of like a stress reliever for you? And what is it about shooting guns that is like so therapeutic for you?
For me, it's one of the biggest passion in my life, shooting guns and participating in defensive shooting competition. When we were living in South America, in Peru, we compete a lot in defensive shooting competition. My sister Antonina, she's champion of Peru in the organization as IDPA.
Wow.
IPSC here in United States, it's called IPSC, and three-gun competition. And this kind of competition, it's not just about precision, it's about power, accuracy, and precision. And you have to deal with your gun. You have to be able to fix any problem during the exercise, what you are doing. And it's very you are starting with a gun in the your folder, and the sounds is beeping, and you start your exercise. You can run, you can shoot from different position, you can shoot from the sitting position, standing lane position. So there is different targets, moving targets, still targets. And I would compare it like, for example, in martial arts we have MMA, universal fight, what including everything. In shooting, this is kind of like competition. It's shooting MMA because there is everything inside of them.
Wow.
If there's ever a zombie apocalypse, I know whose house I'm going to go spend time in. Valentina, save a room for us. I'm curious to find out. Obviously, shooting's so much fun. What do you enjoy more? Do you love doing martial arts or shooting more? What's more fun for you?
There is no comparing. It's both. I very enjoy to spend time. Of course, when you are shooting, you are competing with targets. It's different. When you are training, you are competing or training with your sparring partner, and it's hard, of course. It's different kind of pressure, but I enjoy to do both things a lot. Martial arts for me, it's my life. It's my passion, it's my philosophy, it's my religion, it's everything. And shooting is the same, very big part of my life. Yeah. And there is no things as compare one to each other. No.
I love that you said the fighting is your religion. I think that's another really kind of cool Valentina Shevchenko quote that'll, go down in the history books. We could chat to you all day, Valentina, but we don't want to be too greedy with your time. Guys, make sure to follow her on Twitter and Instagram at Bullet Valentina, the UFC's flyweight champion, coming off a massive and devastating win this past weekend. Thank you so much for your time, Valentina. Congratulations on the win. And I believe you might be going on a holiday, right? You said you're going to spend your performance bonus on a holiday. Where are you going to go?
And travels
Yeah,
and
travel.
travels. I will spend it all travels. Now we are planning to go to China
Oh,
because UFC Performance Institute, they have grand opening in Shanghai. So we are going there to be part of this grand opening, and I would like to stay there for a few days more just to see this country and this beautiful city and enjoy and just have a little bit like more travels. But one more things about like upcoming fight.
mm-hmm.
I very There is like few places where I would like to travel more, and I never traveled before. One of these it's Australia. Australia,
Ah,
it's right. And I in the past I had opportunities to travel to Australia for a few times, and every time it's never came to the like I won't be able to travel there, and it's still in my to-do list, travel to Australia and to see how people live there, because very funny. One of my favorite movies it's
Mhm.
Crocodile Dundee with
yeah,
Paul Hogan,
yeah.
and because I'm the outdoor person, and this kind of hunting, like being outdoors, it's very close to me, and this like movie character what Paul Hogan like give in his movie, it's like very close to me because it has like free spirit and very honor person with a lot of like mind and like good
Mhm.
things that he showed in his movie, and it became one of my favorite movies. That's why I very love to have this opportunity in future to visit one day Australia.
Yeah, I mean the Aussie fans would absolutely love that. I was gonna say it looks like there might be an Aussie card in October. It seems like it. I think there's going to be other title fights, but if they don't pan out, is that something you might be interested in fighting here in October?
Of course, and I think with timing it would match good with me as well.
All right. Well, we'd love to have you, and there's a lot of fun activities here to do in Australia if you come down. So, again, follow her on Twitter and Instagram at Valentine, and thank you so much for your time, Valentine. We really, really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you guys for having me. Have a good day. Bye.